So it's been around a month since the official release of iPadOS, and now that I've had plenty of time to use it for everything I do, I've concluded that it's time for me to say goodbye to macOS and my MacBook Pro and perform all of my computing on the iPad with iPadOS. In this video, I'm going to show you how and explain why the iPad can now be your main computing device, and do a better job of it at that, thanks to iPadOS. So sit back, subscribe, and let's get started. So for as long as I can remember, Apple has restricted their various lines of iPads so that consumers would still have to invest money into a Mac, MacBook, or MacBook Pro to take care of all of their computing needs. But when the iPad Pro was released in late 2018 and major limitations were still present on an extremely powerful and capable tablet, critical reviews of the device made it clear that something had to give and iPad needed more functionality in order for it to sell and live up to its name. Apple responded to this problem perfectly with the creation of iPadOS, and in perfect stride with the rest of the market, which is rapidly changing their focus from traditional computers and laptops to slim yet powerful devices housing mobile chips and processors. And that brings us to this video, where I feel that I can now retire the MacBook Pro and macOS and still get everything I need to get done on my iPad. Starting with that new Safari internet browser. What used to be a glorified smartphone browsing experience now functions the same as if you were using macOS, which means full functionality and usability of all websites across the web, ensuring everything done on the web can be done on iPadOS. Now, another feature assisting your experience on the web and off is the new Touch Assist in the form of mouse functionality. Now, this is not a normal mouse experience you'll find on any computer or even the new Galaxy Tab S6, but rather a pointer that will function as if you are tapping the screen. It sounds very watered down on paper, but jumping into the settings actually shows great functionality, especially with mapping various commands and functions of your choice to any mouse buttons you'd like. There are 23 options to choose from, including things such as opening the dock, quickly jumping into your home screen, changing your volume. You can also add Siri shortcuts to your mouse buttons for even more functionality. Really, the biggest limitations here on the assistive touch mouse is the inability to click and drag across text and lack of right-clicking compared to a normal mouse experience. But you can still scroll through notes and web pages, and thanks to this, we are now beginning to see iPad cases come out with trackpads built into them to take advantage of that assistive touch. And we will begin to see many more of these cases come to the market in the coming months. Now, while these features within the iPad pave the way for a fully functional computing device, it's also the interaction with devices outside of the iPad, which iPadOS now allows, that make the overall experience so much better. Starting with external storage. While interaction with external storage sounds pretty unexciting compared to the rest of the new features of iPadOS, this was once a limited and bottlenecked experience on iPads. But now I can plug in any of my external drives and seamlessly transfer files to and from the tablet. We all know that companies overcharge us for additional storage options on devices, and having the opportunity to save hundreds of dollars here by picking up an external drive is very much appreciated. Now, this next feature has me blown away, and even makes me forget I'm using an iPad at times, and that's controller support. Grab an Xbox or PS4 controller, and games on the App Store and Apple Arcade with controller functionality will provide a console-like experience. Speaking of Apple Arcade, I was skeptical of it at first, but there's definitely something here for all ages, and the arcade experience on iPad is by far the best, considering that aforementioned controller support, but also the ability to use your Apple Pencil or a Bluetooth mouse in some other games as well. Games like Oceanhorn will give you a console-like experience with smooth gameplay and seamless controls, and one of my favorite games yet, Overland, can be played by hand or with the pencil or a mouse if you feel like changing it up. It's this versatile functionality which shows once again how the iPad and iPadOS can cover all of your needs in productivity and entertainment as well. So with countless ways to now interact with the iPad and countless devices now compatible with the iPad, increased functionalities within iPadOS on top of everything iPad already provides, makes this enough for me to say goodbye to my MacBook and macOS. This doesn't mean you shouldn't buy Macs and MacBooks and use macOS anymore. Everyone's use case is different. It just simply means that the average consumer can definitely get away with rocking an iPad and iPadOS and have their needs met without compromises. The only compromise I can really think of is lack of ports, which is already the case on the new MacBook Pros, and dongleception is seemingly more and more of a reality we live in as time goes on, and a lackluster typing experience experience on the iPad Pro case is a moot point as well because the keys on the new MacBook Pros are just as flat. All things considered, the iPad and iPadOS definitely create an opportunity for this tablet to be your main computing device and potentially say goodbye to the MacBook and macOS with much improved functionality that this video just simply scratched the surface on. But what are your thoughts on iPad and iPadOS? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to the Shane Symonds YouTube channel today. Hope to see you around for the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care.